Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, it's kind of a little different, I know. The only reason I'm doing this way is because, well, there's a lot of talk about a Friday and Saturday race. And I don't know if you notice, it's just my trailer, so all you're gonna see is a wooden background, I guess. So, we'll start with Friday, and my dad wasn't there because he had to work, so I brought in my friend Austin Cook, and then my dad's friend Brent, and so they were both helping me. They were like, I guess teammates, not teammates, pit crew guys. I guess I don't know how you say it. I don't know, but and so they were all helping me, and so yeah, it was pretty good. And then so we get into qualifying. I didn't qualify because, well, Swimming Pool Perfection's motor did not run. And good thing I made this video until later because now we found out the true reason why the motor didn't run. It was because the fuel line he was running compared to what I ran, even though it's my same fuel pump, we thought, hey, well, let's change the fuel pump, let's change fuel lines and this and that. Well, what it turns out was the fuel line, the way he did it, it kept going back to the fuel tank. It wasn't going to the carburetor. And I had this fuel bottle. I don't know if you saw it on my motor or not, but there's a fuel bottle where the return line jet is kind of up here. So it makes sure it goes. I don't know how it works exactly, but all I know is it works better than not having a fuel bottle, so you could have fuel going to the carburetor, something like that. Did I get pretty upset about that? Yes, I did. Um, so we had to do a 30-minute, I guess it was 30-minute engine swap. Put my motor on it. Good thing I brought my motor. Got my motor on it. Got my fuel bottle thing on back on and everything, and it ran fine, so it was good. And so we got all of us kind of got upset, and I kind of got upset because I was screaming and still not running and this and that. So now we get into heat race. What was it? There was 8 drivers now, because there weren't enough drivers, I guess, to have 3 groups of or 3 heat races. So we went down to 2 instead of having 3. Let's say 2 heat races had 6 cars and 1 heat race had 4 cars. They ended up decided, hey, let's do 2 heat races that has 8 cars in it each. So I started out 8th because I didn't qualify. Got going past 2 carts, and caution came out, and so we get going on the green. Then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but the car wouldn't stay down low. Like, it was almost like I was missing it, but I wasn't. I hit the line every time. And so we went off the track. I ended up getting last place because of that. So I went off the track. After the checker flag, of course, we changed the left rear tire for the A main. Um, what else? What setup did we do? I guess we kept the setup alone. Um, but we did change the left rear tire and see how that went. And so we get off to the A main and started dead last because we're just having a big time, major problem. But Saturday is what explained all this on Friday and the previous races why my cards hasn't been handling. So I'll get to that later. So on the A main on Friday was better than Saturday because I don't know. I get close to top 10. Um, like I was ended up passing like 1, maybe 2 drivers, but then a lot of them wrecked. So I was close to top 10. I mean, man, there was a lot of cautions. There was like, I would say five, but then there was a few of them that was like, I think there was like one wreck that had like three carts involved. The other was like two and stuff like that. So there was quite a bit of carts down in the infield, and I finished. So that was better than the previous race, I guess, before the Friday race. So close to top 10. Um, could have been better, yes, but now we get into Saturday, and at the end of Saturday, now that's where we found out why I've been struggling so bad, which I'll get into that, after the Saturday race. So on Saturday, we tried to, we called Grandpa George Becker because we were trying to figure out if I was running his card or I was running mine. Because that was a debate before Friday because I wanted to run his cart, but then Swimming Pool Perfections are like, oh, I got you. You just bring the cart to me. I'll get the motor running for you and stuff like that. And the motor didn't run because turns out he didn't use my fuel tube. And I did ask him, hey, maybe this is the problem. Can you use it? And then it turns out he didn't want to use it. And so Saturday race, qualifying and heat race was better than Friday because, well, I don't know, it was just better. Qualifying because my motor ran. Yeah. Oops, excuse me. So I was 20th out of 24th, and like I said, the car wasn't handling. And Saturday was kind of worse for my handling because it was a lot slipperier. It was like dry slick kind of. While Friday was more tackier, and the frame likes the tackier track than slippery kind of. That's what I noticed. And then, but qualifying was better than Friday. But then on the heat race, there were supposed to be 8 carts. One of them didn't come out, so I got an automatic free position for me, I guess. So I finished 7th out of 8th. Um, I wish it would have been better, but that was what was I doing in the heat race? I think I was riding the top, but then the bottom was better because the heat race has been lately. It's been the bottom's been better than the highlight. And my stern officer is like, man, you just will not run the bottom, and that's why I didn't qualify well because I couldn't run the bottom, and everybody was running there. So yeah. Now the A main was worse than Friday's race because well, I tried to battle with like a couple of drivers. I would get beside them, but then they would run the low line and take off. I would try to run the high line, get the momentum build up. It's just the car wasn't there. I was like, oh my god. And like I wanted to hit the gas, just take off, but you know, it just doesn't seem a planted frame and like I don't know what's going on. But now I know now. But I finished. I think I beat it 5 carts, 6 carts maybe. Like I was nowhere near the top 10. Like there was a few carts in the infield, but not as bad as Friday. So less cautions and all that. I was trying to battle with 2 carts, but then the last lap, because you know how last lap goes. So one cart got below me, and I guess he kind of tagged my caster block, so it moved all the way forward. You know how caster block is when you have the left side, which is probably your right, I think. Yeah. So you're right in my left. So my left, you're in the driver's seat. The caster block, when it moves all the way forward, it tends to want to turn left by itself. So when I get in the corner, ever knows it would get really loose, and it got so loose that I almost spun out. I was like, ooh. So I saved it and couldn't catch up to those guys because I was kind of cruising at the last lap, just trying to finish, and man, it was just a nightmare. And so now we found out what was the major problem with the steering offset. You know, I've been saying that my gas tank was breaking. I think I mentioned that once. Then my floor pan, I think I showed a picture of my floor pan getting damaged. Then I mentioned to you guys my front tires were getting eat up. Well, this time's a lot worse. The gas tank broke within like 1 week. I'm sorry, I was trying to think who was out there. So the gas tank broke within one race. Like we just got it fixed, and it broke within one race, maybe two races if you count the Friday race. But gas tanks, floor pan, and front tires, all three of that happened within two races. My right front tire was eaten up. Like, see if I got front tire somewhere. So, yeah, you see there, for example. Um, you see how like I don't know what to say, but you see how it's not feathered. It's like flat tread and all that. Well, I have an example. That's the problem. Okay, imagine this tire, but it's really feathered. Just imagine within two races, the whole tire is feathered and it's got very little tread. I'm just like, man, something ain't right. Because, you know, with my J frame, I've driven other frames and other cars that I've used, and none of them had a front tire cut that fast. I mean, yes, maybe they're probably using 33 compound front tires while I use 22s. But yeah, I used 22 compounds on my J frame and other cars that I've ran in the past before. Well, maybe. But I've ran 22 compounds on my J frame. It doesn't eat them that fast. But think about it, within two races, this ain't no 11 compound tire that eats up right away. It ain't the super soft 11 compound. This is a 22 compound. And it eats up that fast. The way the front tire is looking right now, if I drove the standard offset again for like one or two more races, it would be completely bald. And man, it just didn't look good. Then the floor pan, actually I should have brought the floor pan because I took the floor pan off the standard offset. So you got six holes for mounting. You got two in the front, then you got the four in the rear. You got two on the left side, two on the right side, and all four of those holes, well, mainly the back two holes, you know, the two holes that are furthest back, those are the ones that are damaged the most. And that floor pan is brand new. You know, it's like, I think it's 13 races long, and it already broke. I have floor pans that last me a full season plus other racetracks, and and it still lasts me that long. That tells you something ain't right. It's like the frame is trying to taco itself or overloading the tires to shred them or something. It's just something with the frame is just ain't right. It's like tacoing or whatever. And it breaks my gas tank like four times. Like one time I believe I mentioned you that it burned my leg. Um, and three other times where one was on the side and two were on the bottom. And those two were at the bottom were the last two things that happened. The first thing was um, it was on front of it, and that's where my leg was. The second time it broke was on the side, and then the last two times, which was third and fourth, was under the gas tank where the gas tank mounts to the floor pan, so it didn't send a far back too. And so that tells me where that gas tank is mounted and where the floor pan is mounted, which is very close to the engine and everything. It's like the frame's trying to taco itself or flexing, you know, that part of the floor pan. Because the front of the floor pan is fine. It was got a little bit of damage, but the rear of it, it's like, I don't know what's going on. Um, so, um, so all I'm gonna say right now is I'm not racing it anymore, and I'll be racing a different card. And actually, I got proof that no, I'm not racing it. So my other card is not able to make this side panel work because the roll cage is different, and that's what happened. 15 minutes long. So I'm sorry for this long video. Actually, I can show you the card right now. And so you can see another card back there. I know you're seeing a 98, but that's going to be changed to a 95 soon. We're probably just going to put tape or something on it. The roll cage is a little bit different. Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing it this way because camera's facing me. If I, do it the way that I don't face it, then I can't see what's happening in the video. So you see the roll cage is a little bit different. Pretty much this is my card from like 2000. The last time I raced it was 2016. Then I raced it again in 2017 for the King of the Hill race. And the roll cage got damaged. It just got kind of destroyed in the King of the Hill race. You could kind of see it right here. It got fixed. I don't know if you could see the paint wearing thing. And right here, oh, that's Bear. Oh, it's so hard. And right here, you can see there's a J-frame, not J-frame, the standard offset. I don't know if you can see. I'm just gonna have to do it like this. There's no floor pan down there. I took the wheels off. I hope you guys can see it. Like, that's the best I can do. So basically, the J-frame is combined with the old car parts, and I don't know if you can see the hood back there. Come on. Ah, man, this is so hard. And the hood's the coolest part. I think I mentioned to you guys this once about this hood. Yeah, there's this hood right there. Oh, come on. Trying to show you. Yeah, there's a metal piece right here. Yeah, right here. So that's gonna be going on to this card thanks to Robert Rohiv. I think I mentioned to you guys that Robert Rohiv was the one who built this card before I slapped on the J-frame. It had an old Area 51 and all that. And so I was going to use this wing, but I thought it would just be more work because I need to get seatbelts installed. I need to do the front toe and other stuff. Oh, actually, I can show you my front tire. Oh, I don't know if I can show you well. If you can't see it, then you see like feathering going on. And by the way, this tire had a lot of tread and everything, and it wear down way too fast. If you guys can't see it, then I'm sorry. But that's it for this video. Hopefully this next week, it'll be better. Just need to get the seatbelts, installing the fuel lines, get gas in it, and cut the fuel hoses because the roll cage is a little bit different. So the the radiator hoses need to be trimmed down, and so it don't kink as much. So um so later, guys. Peace.